Alright, welcome back. So last time we checked, we had the PBR with procedural lerping, which basically tiles the UVs to the way you want it, and we have this object which is a modular fort. Now if you want to look at it perfectly, each one is a different object and they all have the same two materials. One is a trim, one is a wall, so two surfaces or materials, and the wall is the one that we added the PBR to. Alright, and basically it's a modular fort made by Polyhaven. These guys are free, so I always use them. Not endorsed, not advertised, just like their products, so always a fan to shout them out. Alright, other than that, let's begin. We have our lerping function, which we added right here, which if we remember correctly, it's a lerp between two materials alongside a coefficient, and that connects us to the output. Okay, there we go. Looks a little bit more like stars. Looks nice. Alright, so with that, let's go into our main graph, and we have a multi-lerp function. Now, a multi-lerp would be the exact same thing that we did. So we have our two objects that we, oh my lord, we have two objects, or like two materials that we lerp between, and we use our texture, surface texture, to portal it out to the X. So what we did was we just continued doing that. So the result is now being lerped with the Y parameter of the texture, and then the last is resulted with the Z parameter, and then the final is now just transmitted into a material and sent. Now why is that important? Well, let's just create a child here so we can see it. Now we have an object and we have our little let's use this guy. Oh my. Alright, so with that, let's just change the displacements to 0, 0, 0, and 0. So let's just go back into our plane. Alright, so we have different textures and we have a lerp coefficient. So if we go back into our material textures and we go into textures, let's just connect some materials. Alright, so now that we noticed this, let's just go into our lerp 0 mask. You can see that the color itself here has been changed and it's only an R channel, so there's only one lerping. Now if we go back here and we created a new mask, this time let's just choose the RGB, and I'm just going to call it lerp underscore multi-lerp mask. I can't type for some reason. Alright, and let's just add it right here into there. So as you can see, we have the mask and there's no change whatsoever. So as we go inside our texture paint mode and we go into the active tool, this is where things will get interesting, because now we don't have the alpha inside here because it is an RGB and not an alpha. So painting on one of the channels will lerp it between that one. So let me give you a little hint. Oopsies, let's just go back here. Alright, so let's just paint on, for example, the red channel. And let's just give it a small little square. Oops, it's on erase. So let's put it on paint, put it on the red channel, and just press square right here. Let's remove that angle on the brush and let's just push it right here. Okay, sweet. All right, then let's just remove that, paste a green square right here, done, and then let's just paint a blue, oops, and let's just paint blue right here. And then I'm also going to paint one more, which is going to be a mix of all three right here, so we can actually see. All right, this is the final material, so it connects it all on that. All right, so the lerp between the red and green channel. So if we were to just do it like this, we can see color differences, and we can also see this is white. All right, so how does this even work? So this is a lerp between the first material and the second. This is a lerp between first and third, and this one's a difference between first and fourth. This is a color of all of it. Now the color textures also, if you notice, even though we had all 4 colors, it lerps on the final one the way we made the lerping material, right? Because we put it in a specific order, where the first one is going to be the base, and these are on top of each other. So the order does matter here. Now let's say you did do this and you actually just wanted the first lerp between 1 and 2. So what you do is you take the green and blue and you paint over it. So let me just let's see. Let's just first remove the green, remove the blue. So we remove the blue, right? We remove the blue, and now we have this. Now let's say we also want to remove the green in that area. Okay, so we remove the green in that area, but we can't really, even if we remove it from under, the blue on top of it is the reason why we can't really go, or what you could say, we can't really see that change. All right, and then if we were to just remove the red, nothing happens unless there's only the green above it. All right, so things do make a little bit of sense. Now, what else do we notice? Let's go back into our material itself. Yes, we save it, and now we can see the difference inside our material. So let's go into our material, and you can see that we have no offsets or height. So let's just add a little bit of height into each one of them. 0.2 to 0.3 is enough. All right, so now we have that height difference. Now you can also see the tiling. If we tile it, it tiles all of the UVs at the same time. Now if you want to give it different UVs, then you got to add this tile outside and do your own lerping and then that, but for now let's just say they're all equal. So we're just gonna make that equal, right? So there's no difference. Okay, now with all that said and done, let's add that to our tower here. So we're gonna go here, and we have a PBR0. I went ahead and I just created a multi-lerp, so I'm just gonna add it to here, and now we have a multi-lerp with each one having their own material texture. So I just went in, created a material mask that's black, empty, right? And then we created a wall and we just added texture to it. All right, cool. So why do we do, so over here, if we just highlight all of them, there's 25 selected right here. So why do we do 25 masks? So each wall has its version of procedural lerping. So now with everything set up, we can go into Paint, and then we can actually start painting our designs inside each wall differently. So now, like, I can go over here, I could say the red, I can add it to, let's see, let's just add it like this, put an angle on the brush, add it like this, put another angle, add it like this. Cool. Then I'm satisfied with that. I could go into the green, put an angle over here, remove it, put a little angle over here, remove it, put an angle over here, remove it, and then I'm done with that. I go into the blue, add a little bit more. They're two different plasters, I guess. But anyways, so we have that. We can go over here. That's cool. Now we can click on the other one. It says save it. We save it. And then over here we can see that it saved that. And now for this one, we can add our own paint. Let's just add a little bit of that red. I'm gonna add a little angle. Red, red. And you could go like this, yes. And as you can see, it's a very fast workflow and it's very smooth. And if you don't like it, let's say you don't really like this, you can literally just go into here and close it and it's gonna remove itself. And then you can add some other mask and the results are very fast and limitless. Alright, I think I've talked enough and you guys had enough understanding of how to do this, and you guys can go even further with all this. But for now, let's call it over here. I will see you guys next time. Alright? Goodbye.